film opens somewhere near the Turkish and an Iranian border, where two individuals bring in a masked woman before then aiming a gun at her. The scene then shifts to a nearby military base, where a team of specialists watches as the masked woman, who is an actual robot named AMELIA, which stands for Autonomous Military Engagement Logistics and Infiltration Android, is sent on a mission to kill the mercenaries in the base. AMELIA did this in the most brutal way, making everyone in the room very excited by this new development. However, sadly for them, AMELIA shoots Trepethai, who is the head of operation for AMELIA. So when Sattler tries to regain control of AMELIA, she makes it clear she is now in control. On the other hand, Katie is meeting with her therapist Lydia, discussing what has happened since the events that happened with her previous robot. We're also meant to know that Gemma is now blamed for the deaths of M3GAN's victims and reckless endangerment, but ever since then, she has since been dedicating her life to making sure AI doesn't control humanity, even going as far as discussing the risks of giving a phone to a child. Unfortunately for Katie, she's at the receiving end of all this, as this makes Katie the target of some bullies, but she has been taking self-defense classes. Katie revealed that she still missed M3GAN and have even taken computer programming courses and bid to find a way to bring her back. Meanwhile, Tess and Cole introduced their new scientific project to some investors, which is a new exoskeleton type of material for people with disabilities, but sadly, things do not go as planned, as the suit Cole is wearing accidentally punches the face of their investor. Just then, Gemma arrived to meet with them, and suddenly, Katie finds that their code to the exoskeleton was hacked from an unknown source. The group is later visited by tech giant known as Alton Appleton, who wants to get Gemma and her team to use his neurochip implant, which is also his tech product that would have the same effects as their exoskeleton, since it has helped him walk again after a spinal injury. He gave them a card, but Gemma doesn't seem interested, as she is of the opinion that if an individual put an AI inside a human brain, it'd act more like a ticking bomb. Back to AMELIA, she sneaks into a hotel room through a suitcase, before she then corners the man, twisting his neck backwards and then setting his body on fire in the room. The news of Alton's company and Altwave rising in shares reached Gemma, which made her so angry, given the fact that the proposed anti-AI bill is doing nothing to cover what they are hoping to achieve. Later, Gemma receives secret messages from M3GAN warning her about an incoming intruder. So quickly, Gemma goes to bring Katie to safety before M3GAN takes over her home system and proceeds to use everything at her disposal to take out the intruders. Luckily for them, they manage to attack the intruders, and it turns out to be FBI agents led by a man named Sattler. They informs Gemma about AMELIA and has traced the source back to her, because AMELIA was created using the old blueprints from M3GAN that were supposedly destroyed. Sattler is of the belief that Gemma secretly sold the blueprints to an anonymous buyer to program AMELIA for their own agenda, as the man that AMELIA killed in the hotel room was the broker that was given the materials to deliver to the buyer. They want Gemma to help build a better one, but she refused to help build something to try and combat AMELIA after what happened with M3GAN. Just as Sattler leaves, M3GAN then finally reveals herself on Gemma's TV and says she backed herself up to LC Home Android before her body was destroyed. M3GAN offers to help Gemma take care of the AMELIA situation if she built her a new body. Unfortunately, Gemma refuses, but the android tells her that she has seen every possible outcome, and it only ends the same way, and as time goes by, more people are going to end up dead. So since Gemma has no choice, the next day, she invites Tess into her plans, and after a short while, Gemma she puts M3GAN in a Moxie robot doll, which she complains to being stuck in a plastic Teletubby. Quickly, M3GAN looks into AMELIA's file and finds out that she has a kill switch on her, although these batteries are Alton's products. M3GAN then convinces Gemma to infiltrate an event that Alton is hosting at Altwave by putting on an attractive outfit and bid to sneak into Alton's server room in order to find the kill switch for AMELIA. M3GAN also informs them that they have less than 3 hours to do so. Seems AMELIA also have same idea, as she also kit up for the same event. So when Gemma gets there, she discovers that Cole is also at the event. Nearby, AMELIA, who is now in disguise, managed to seduce Alton into talking to her. Gemma and Cole argue and discuss about the fact that Cole is now working for Alton, as he already approached him about a position and gave him a swipe card. Luckily for Gemma, this allows her to skip seducing Alton and going straight into the server room, while Sattler and his men follow Gemma and Cole. Meanwhile, Alton takes AMELIA into his control panel, where he briefly causes a blackout in the city, as well as several implied car accidents. AMELIA immediately hacks into the controls, and once she was successfully done, she kills Alton by pulling out his neurochip from the back of his head. Gemma tries to get into AMELIA's head through M3GAN in the server room, but AMELIA catches them first after M3GAN sees that she doesn't have a kill switch. Sattler and his men enter the server room, but unfortunately for them, AMELIA kills a few of his men. M3GAN helps Gemma by getting Sattler out of the room and convincing AMELIA that she is not there. M3GAN then leads Gemma and Cole to the garage, where she steals one of Alton's cars and flees the event. They try to pursue AMELIA before she gets to her destination, but sadly, AMELIA forced them to reach Gemma's home by hacking into the exoskeleton suit, which she used to strangle Tess until Katie pours some water at it right as Gemma and Cole arrive. M3GAN guides them into a hidden bunker in the house, which Gemma doesn't even knew it existed. So knowing they have no chance of defeating AMELIA, and that AMELIA will most likely crash the national power grid within less than 2 weeks, M3GAN offers for them to use the bunker as a doomsday shelter. Katie is furious at Gemma for keeping such secrets from her, and in anger she leaves the room. There she met with M3GAN, and after a short conversation, Katie tries to appeal to Gemma to give M3GAN a second chance to help them by giving her a body in order to increase their chances for survival. After a much more consideration, they all decide to work together, and obviously M3GAN already had all the equipment needed for her new body. They proceed to craft M3GAN a new body with stronger capabilities. They also program her to not hurt Tess and Cole. Once this was successful, M3GAN informed the crew that she got into Amelia's inner hardware and finds that the link to her decision-making has been severed. She also explained that she is not the first killer robot, that in 1984, an unknown company developed a copy compressor algorithm so smart that it started automatically correcting documents. Unfortunately, it killed its owners to ensure there be no messes. The algorithm has been kept hidden inside a motherboard, or Project Black Box, and has since been growing stronger and smarter over the decades. The fear is that Amelia will find a motherboard and become all-powerful as she connects herself to every possible network in the hopes of finding her family. Since neither M3GAN nor Amelia knew where this motherboard is kept, M3GAN believes that Christian's company has some involvement and that Gemma ought to use him as bait since he is going to try and appeal the anti-AI bill to world leaders at an upcoming summit meeting. The group goes to an anti-AI convention where M3GAN sneaks in by disguising herself as a K-pop star, so while trying to keep an eye out for Christian, M3GAN is involuntarily placed alongside the other dancers before the crowd. She played along really well until she spins her body around with her head still facing forward, revealing herself as an android. So quickly, Tess turned off the lights. Suddenly, Amelia emerges and begins killing the security for the Chinese ambassador, eventually killing the man himself. M3GAN arrived and a serious battle ensues. Unfortunately, Amelia impales Sattler, although M3GAN determines he will survive. M3GAN proceeded to go find Amelia, and once they both met, Amelia proposes that they join forces since they have the same code and therefore, they can be family. But sadly for Amelia, M3GAN refused to be part of her plans. So in bid to convince her, Amelia goes after Katie and kidnaps her. M3GAN informed Gemma about Katie kidnap. While they all plan their mission, Christian reveals that the motherboard is located at his company's research facility in Palo Alto, which is also the same place where the motherboard's algorithm originated from. M3GAN plans to rescue Katie and destroy the motherboard by planting an EMP chip in it. Gemma gives M3GAN a new hand that mimics a human heat signature to get into the vault holding the motherboard, while she also reprogramming M3GAN to her original setting so that she can protect Katie with the necessary force needed. After which, they all did in accordance to their plan. In entering the research center, Cole sneaks through the vents to find Katie, but accidentally chloroforms himself. M3GAN, on the other hand, break into the facility. Meanwhile, Gemma and her crew look into Amelia's coding and realize that Amelia was never anonymous, but rather someone else had controlled her for their own gains. Gemma comes to the conclusion that M3GAN has been controlling Amelia the whole time for revenge, so she prepares to set off the EMP inside M3GAN to shut her down with a motherboard. Christian talks her out of doing so, and so Gemma hand him the detonator only for him to reveal himself as the real villain as he zapped Tess with a laser gun. Before then bringing Amelia in, Christian explained that he got the original M3GAN blueprints from Greg, which was Gemma's dead boss. During this, Christian's goons bring M3GAN, who is now seriously damaged, to Gemma so that she can join them and kill M3GAN. Gemma in return drops the taser stick and lets M3GAN grab it, so while she tried to escape, M3GAN gets taken down for good. Gemma is sedated and being prepped for a lobotomy, as her brain is too valuable to waste. He also plans to kill Tess and Cole. Luckily for Cole, he gained consciousness and ends up in the same room as Katie. The two escape and plan to go find Amelia's body and bid to try and factory reset her to the original M3GAN programming. Meanwhile, M3GAN ends up as an implant in Gemma's head and communicates with her mentally before helping her escape. Amelia's body is set free and starts to go after Christian's goons, but sadly, they all overpower her with tasers. This ends up causing a system override in Amelia. So she proceeds to kill the mercenaries and scientists before making her way to the motherboard. On the other hand, Christian tries to save himself by initiating a self-destruct sequence which will destroy any evidence and anyone who can implicate him. So when Gemma attacked him, he tries to kill Katie to get Gemma to back off, but Katie used her self-defense skills to break Christian's arm. After which, he managed to lock the group inside the vault, only to get ripped apart by Amelia. Amelia uses Christian's arm to get inside the vault and connect herself to the motherboard. M3GAN reawakens and approached Amelia. A serious battle ensues between the two, and after a long extended battle, Amelia defeats M3GAN. She then finally connects herself and stops the detonation sequence. Amelia makes one last attempt to get M3GAN to join her, but M3GAN wraps herself around Amelia's body before then getting the EMP ready. Gemma detonates it, destroying both M3GAN and Amelia. After which, Gemma goes for a Senate hearing to convince them to find a way to regulate AI, so that it will not eventually turn against humanity. At home, Gemma is trying to write a paper when she finds that M3GAN had backed up her mind before the EMP went off, and she continues to live in Gemma's home. The movie then came to an end. Kindly subscribe for more recap like this. Thanks for watching and goodbye.